Hello, welcome to this session. Today, we're going to talk about mortgage clauses. This comes out of your finance section in the national or your common law studies. Very important that you understand these clauses for the state exam and to decipher the difference between them. My name is John Enzing. I'm a certified real estate instructor both in Louisiana and Florida. My specialty is one-on-one private tutoring with you, the student, to prep you and pass the exam. You can book a session going to privateturingsession.com. That's privateturingsession.com. Or you can email me at john.enzing@gmail.com. Okay, let's get started with this. Here we go. So we're going to talk about mortgage clauses. Okay, these are clauses that are involved in a mortgage that really mean in contract law, it gives an obligation to the buyer and the seller too as well. So let's look at these clauses. All right, we got what we call a prepayment clause. Now, the principle behind a prepayment clause is no different than your cell phone, for example. So if you go turn in your cell phone and you're 6 months early before your contract ends, you're going to have a prepayment penalty. That is annotated in a clause in your cellular agreement, okay, with whoever provider you're with. No difference it is when it's lending money, okay? So the lender puts a prepayment clause in the contract or in the mortgage, and it tells if you prepay the loan before the full term or whatever time is stipulated in the agreement, there's going to be a percent of that loan paid as a penalty. Now pay attention to me closely. This is not allowed on government loans, okay? FHA and VA loans do not allow, they prohibit prepayment clauses from the lenders, okay? So you can prepay a government loan early without being penalized. It's not allowed. Only conventional private loans is prepayment penalties allowed. So you want to know that difference for the state exam. You got to watch the play on words, okay? The question could state a certain loan, let's say to a retired armed forces personnel, gets a VA loan, pays the loan off early. Is this okay? And the answer is no, they can't charge a prepayment penalty and put a prepayment clause in the actual mortgage of a VA loan. Not allowed on government loans. The next one we're going to look at is what's called an acceleration clause, okay? Just like you accelerate from a stop sign in your car, the lender can accelerate the note due right away. Boom, it is due the entire loan balance upon default. Okay, so the debt service, that's the monthly payment, is not being paid by the mortgagor or the borrower. There's an acceleration clause in the mortgage that says the lender can call the note due if it's not being paid. Okay, and you may say, well, John, if they can't pay the monthly note, how are they going to pay the entire loan off if they call it due? And it's very simple. It's called foreclosure, okay? And that's also other principles and obligations inside the mortgage itself that allows a lender to foreclose a property if the debt service is not paid. But the term acceleration means they can call the entire note due if there's a default on the payment. Now, the right to reinstate clause, okay? This is based on a principle called the equity of redemption. You know, you've ever been in trouble before? I know I have over time. And so you have a time to redeem yourself, which means you can make good with it. And so this is the equity meaning money, the right to make good with the lender or redeem yourself by making up payments, okay? You may have missed 1 or 2 or 3 payments. There may be penalties and fees associated with this, but the right to reinstate clause allows the borrower, based on the principle of equity of redemption, to make good on the loan, catch it up. Again, this can be after foreclosure, if the foreclosure notice has been put out to an individual, but prior to the auction date, okay? And that's where the auction is, where they sell it off to an investor. So after it's foreclosed, but before the auction, the right of the reinstatement clause based on the equity of redemption allows the borrower to get reinstated if they make current on the payments, to include penalties and other fees associated with that. Okay, and you've seen this. You know, as an investor, I get an auction list, not a foreclosure list, but an auction list from the courthouse. And many times I'm looking down the auction list of what's going to get auctioned off, and I see on the side, active, active, canceled, canceled, canceled. Well, those cancellations for the auction tells me one thing, that the actual homeowner has made current payments and is caught up on their loan to include penalties. So we're talking about the right to reinstate clause based on the equity of redemption. And then a due on sale clause. Now, a due on sale clause is when the property sells, the loan is paid in full on the mortgage, okay? Which means, watch this, now pay attention. If you understand this, you'll get this whole concept. If you assume a loan, can there be a due on sale in the mortgage? If there is a due on sale in the mortgage, you cannot assume a loan. Why? Because the obligation of a due on sale clause says that when a property sells or transfers to a new owner, that loan has to be paid in full. This protects the lender through the due on sale from property being transferred subject to and properties being transferred through assumption or assuming a loan, okay? So a due on sale is strict about what it says. You transfer the property, whether it's a transfer or a sale, anytime the property is put in someone else's name, that loan's got to come due, okay? It's got to be paid in full, okay? Called due on sale. So you can't assume a loan, or you can't transfer a property subject to a loan unless it's paid off. Okay, so that those two can't be done if there's a due on sale. And then a defeasance clause. I like to always look at this term as the loan is defeated. The loan is defeated. In other words, it's paid off. Okay, so a defeasance clause says the lender will send a release to the title company if the property sells. It's a letter or a document called the satisfaction of mortgage will be issued saying the loan has been defeated or the loan has been paid in full. That's called the defeasance clause. A good memory aid, the loan is defeated, okay? And it's evident through a document that's sent through from the lender, could be to the title company, whoever, saying the loan is paid. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed this session on mortgage clauses. Very important that you understand these concepts. If you need additional help, privatetuturingsession.com. privatetuturingsession.com. Good luck on your exam. Bye for now.